Hey, so when it comes to winning in any sport, any business, as consumers, as fans, we kind of only see the result, right? The result of winning. So today on the first episode of the Power Podcast, I have world champion, multiple-time world champion, Demetrius Andrade here, and we're going to discuss the warrior mentality. And by that I mean really what it takes day in and day out, year after year, to get to that elite level. And I want to start, obviously, by thanking you for coming. You have a big fight coming up, which we'll discuss later. And I really wanted to discuss, not where you're at now, but what it took to get you there, and the mindset that it takes day in and day out. And I'm a big boxing fan. I've studied a lot of boxers. You're obviously one of my favorite boxers, and you're local, which is obviously a plus. But for you, what kind of mindset? Do you need to have that mindset 24/7? Do you ever turn it off? Or, starting boxing at the age of 6, have you just been locked in from then to where you are now?
Yeah, so, long time ago. Yeah, so I started at 6. My dad, Paul Andrade, who is my trainer currently today, has been, in my life as far as in my life and outside, and also inside the ring and boxing and stuff like that. We did karate at first,
before boxing.
Yeah, did a little karate, and then he seemed like we was a little aggressive. He was like, what, let's put him in boxing. And so we had our own gym in Cranston over there by the bowling alleys, Park Ave, and so it just became a routine. Because my dad also had a gym. He was training other professional fighters at the time. I have an older brother, like 4 years older than me, so he was already more in tune into it. I was going to the gym just to fool around and be a wrestler, what I'm saying? Being on the top rope, jumping.
So you started kind of messing around with it when you were 6?
Yeah, he would just, make sure we was in the gym, but he wasn't really, focused on training me at the time. It was more like a playground for me as he was training my older brother and other professionals at the time, like Greg Towns, guys like that. They used to come through the gym back in the days. And so as time went on, I just started getting into it, and he's started showing me the skills, and I definitely had the athletic ability and the body frame to do a lot. So as time went on, I started getting better at boxing. Winning tournaments, played football when football season came around.
That's dangerous for a boxer to play football, right?
Well, you're young, so you know what I'm saying. You hadn't decided yet. For everybody. Like everybody should be able to touch every sport.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, to see really what you love the most. Boxing was just something that my dad was into, so that's what brought us there. Yeah. But he also allowed us to go play basketball, football. I played tennis, I did a lot of sports. Well,
kudos to your dad, too, because I think a lot of people, I know that when I did a little research into your biography, I know you as a fighter, we've met a couple times, but, the first thing I was thinking, boxing since the age of 6, did you love it? Was it something that was around you? Not that you were forced into it, but hearing that you had other options, it sounds like you were able to try other sports. I'm sure you excelled at them because you're an athlete, but for some reason, boxing stuck. What was it about boxing? And when did you fall? Did you have a period where you're like, I love boxing?
Yeah, I love boxing because it was the only way for me to learn how to fight and beat up my older brothers. You know what I'm saying? They used to try to, because everybody was fighting in the house because we all went to the gym. And my dad used to be one of them guys, and he still is one of them guys, not used to, but he used to have a caravan, or whenever he has a truck or whatever, he used to get the whole neighborhood and just bring them to the gym. So everybody in the neighborhood was kind of knew how to fight. And
that was in Cranston?
Well, the gym was in Cranston, I grew up in Providence, on Broad Street. So the neighborhood I was Sackett, Early Street. So he used to go around, pick up the kids, and bring them to the gym. So everybody pretty much knew how to fight. So throughout the whole day, everybody was always trying to fight somebody. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be in the gym early.
So it started as competition. You wanted to be better than the kids around you. And also, obviously, you wanted to perform for your father, I assume, right?
Definitely wanted to be, better, but they was bigger than me, so I had to learn how to.
You hear these stories Kronk Gym, right? You hear all these stories about these gyms and young athletes that got involved, and in many cases, it got them off the streets, doing positive things, obviously the more that you put your time and focus into any craft, you're going to get better. But, I can say from where I sit and from the experience that I have and athletes that I've seen, boxing is one of those sports that, it's a true individual sport. It's not a team sport. And no offense to the teams, you have your managers, they're part of the team, but there's one person in the ring, right? Nobody can fight for you. So having said that, what goes through your mind, either when you're getting into the ring or you're in a battle, you're in an exchange, what pops into your head? Did doubts ever pop into your head? I know that's a question fighters don't want to answer. They never want to admit that, but what goes through your head when you're in battle?
So as far as like the whole journey is, like you were saying, is like my dad being able to like go around, get the neighborhood kids, keep them off the streets.
Yep.
So that's what boxing does.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sports, but boxing in particular, because like you don't need a college degree for that. You don't need to graduate high school. These other sports you sort of need those graduation certificates to be able to go to the next level. So that's what my dad was bringing upon me. So in my head, as I was getting older and playing all these other sports, and like you were just saying, being on like a team, I love football. I always wanted the ball. Yeah. And then I realized, like, damn, I want the ball, but he's 300 pounds.
Yep.
I don't know if I want to go out against somebody that's 300 pounds all the time,
or get hit by somebody that weighs 300 pounds.
No, of course. So I'm going from like I'm in the gym keeping my weight down because of my fight, but I'm also playing football, and these guys are 300 pounds. So at that point, I was actually going to Hendricken for I was like a running back.
I'm a Hendricken grad. Great school, great sports program.
Yeah, I should have went just for the school, but I didn't go because like they wanted me to play football.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm just stick to boxing, because at the end of the day, I can only blame myself.
Yep.
There's not like there's a lot of people out there that's like if they lose, they blame it on their coach. They blame it on this one.
Yeah, or the injury or whatever. Injuries do happen.
At the end of the day, it's a one-man sport.
Yeah.
So I'm always going to take the credit for win, lose, or draw.
Yep.
And so the mentality is like, I gotta put in the work. If not, I'm going to lose, and losing is not what I want to do, and I don't want to, not turn over every stone, because if I lack that, or if I depend on my dad, or if I depend on the coach to make sure he's like calling me to make sure I'm running, I call the team like, yo, this is what we're doing today. This is how
you don't need that extra motivation.
Nobody needs to call me and tell me if I did or did you.
Yep.
And so that's not on and off switch. That's life.
Yeah.
Either you have that or you don't.
But I think you got to give yourself a little more credit. That is life, but not everybody has that mentality. That not
no, of course not. That's why there's levels to things.
Well, but that's also why you're at the level that you're at. And like I don't mean to bring up other fighters or athletes, but when you look at the top tier athletes, right? The Tiger Woods, the LeBron James, the Michael Jordans, the Mayweathers, the Pacquiaos. When you refer to boxing, there was something different about these guys. The Tom Brady's, New England guy. There was something different about these guys where you almost look at them and say they sacrificed it all, right? I look at athletes like that, and especially an athlete like you. You're 30 and 0 now, right? You, from the age of 6, you might not have picked up gloves and said, I'm going to be a world champion. But since that day, you seem to have stayed on the path of just really going all in and sacrificing it all. So I do think, you deserve a lot of credit for that. And also, I think the toughest thing that, in my opinion, athletes have to deal with is then you get money, then you get more attention. You got to stay on the tracks, right? You have to stay focused. And obviously that's something that you've been able to do, because usually you can see when an athlete is not as focused and they start, a boxer, they start to lose fights that you look at and you're like, why did you lose that fight? Maybe they were underprepared, right?
Yeah, definitely a possibility for being underprepared. Maybe the guys just had his number.
I
don't really know in that sense.
It's
but
not always under preparation.
Yeah, as far as like like the story is seeing like what my dad did for the kids in the neighborhood, and how to like that mentality of like, yo, you have an opportunity. It's either you can go down this path, or you can go down this path, and this path leads you to temptation, like being in the streets.
Yeah. And what age did you kind of have that choice? Can you remember?
I mean, it was just all through, growing up in Providence, anywhere in Rhode Island, anywhere in the United States, anywhere in the world, there's always going to be that life. No matter where you're from, there's always going to be that. It can be around.
No matter how much money you make, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, but I'm just saying, as a young person, like to be able to see, like, like the older generation, like, damn, this kid's getting in trouble. He was nice at boxing. Why he out here doing this?
Yeah.
Or this kid was good at football or basketball. Why is he out here doing this? So these are the things that lead the people to the failure, the downfall, because they're like choosing the wrong thing because of maybe like money, parents, or whatever the situation might be. So me being, blessed with, my dad's hard work and his mind as well to like, I want to get these kids off the streets. I want to like show them there's another way. And so that right there, it built that mentality in me to be like more of a warrior, more of a father figure, and also like have the discipline, because you could be rich one moment and you could be broke the next. Yeah. And then do you have what it takes to be rich again? You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, you've been a boxer for a long time. The sacrifices it takes, and then all of a sudden you lose focus. And not just boxing. Listen, in life, you're on a trajectory. You're accessing next levels, and then you make a couple bad decisions, and then you could literally lose it all. Boxing's no different from that. With life, and it seems to me like obviously your father was a big piece of you. Obviously, growing up, getting into boxing, but it seems to me like he's still there, guiding you, and it still seems like it's on your mind that you're not the young kid anymore, but there might be a 7, 8, 9-year-old Demetrius Andrade looking up at you, and you're a hero to them, right? Like, so do you ever think about that? And do you feel pressure because of that to perform? Does that come into the ring with you?
Nah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, pressure is always going to, either, like they say, either make diamonds or not. You know what I'm saying? So I've been making a lot of diamonds. Yeah. And at the end of the day, I know what the people behind me on my back, I want to change their life. Yeah. I want to give people opportunity that's been around me to, finance their own thing. So, that's the pressure that I'm dealing with. I was like, it's more like, when we win this fight, we'll whoop this dude's ass, and this is what we're going to do.
And
this is how we're going to build. And
it's not just for you, it's for others.
No, for sure. Definitely, because, if you mention LeBron James and you mention whoever, like, usually they bring up the people they around them to...
The great ones do, right? The great ones.
For sure. Yeah. And so, like, I have great people around me that also just needs that, help as well. And so if I can deliver that and give them that motivation to continue to stay focused, right? Yep. Because they know, like, there's a plan, then we're winning.
So and you know what, you obviously have that warrior mentality as far as career-wise, but I'll tell you this, the way that your mindset is, it's a lot like mine. And, I run a branch of North Point Bank in Providence. There's 28 people on the team, and I know that as I've excelled through my career and I've matured, right, I look at success a lot differently, where obviously it's wins and losses for you, but you mentioned you got people on your back. You have people that depend on you at a certain level, but also when you win, they win, right? So that mentality to me is it's personal for me, because that's the way that I feel in my career now, where I'm working hard and pushing every day. I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for us. And it seems like you kind of have that mentality. And to be honest with you, I would think that that's pretty rare in the world of boxing. I think this is, we sit down, we're having a conversation. It is about boxing, but it's not. It's more about life, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, boxing is only for so long. Yeah. You can only do it for so long. Yeah. Be after boxing, what are we doing? Yeah. How do we continue to grow?
Yeah. And how do you create legacy beyond just boxing? Right. No, definitely. I mean, obviously you got to keep winning. That's important, but how you win is also important as well, right?
Yeah, for sure. I want to continue to, make sure I see these things, these checks and everything come in as I grow after boxing, because at the end of the day, it just because history repeats itself in a sense. Yep. We can go down names, but that's not what I'm here for. But people, tend to, like you said, make some money, lack focus, out there doing too much, want to be out here driving the nicest car, want to get all this jewelry, and it's like you're still renting out a house, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make any sense.
And you know what the thing is? If you really pay attention, and I'm not saying, I'm saying people in general, it's easy to see the mistakes those people have made, and they make the same mistakes where you get a little ahead of yourself. And like, I know, when it comes to sport and leading a company, if you're part of something great, which you are, you have a great career. In my opinion, you're a top 10 boxer, pound for pound. I don't know if lists count you as that, but I think you're a top pound for pound boxer in the world. To get to this level, it's more important than ever, I would assume, and I would think that you feel that way. Every decision that you make matters to who you hang out with, to what you eat, to whether you drink or not, to who is around you, to whatever media you have to do, how much you have to train, weight loss. Like, I'm not trying to stress you out before the fight, but there's a lot of things that you have to focus on,
you gotta
right?
Calculate all that, your energy, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, who you spend time with, where's your energy being spent at? And then, what I try to tell people, like, with this whole, like, Corona thing, unfortunately, it did a lot of damage to people, and God bless everybody out there that, but social distancing, and then also, like, your energy, like, where are you really spending your time? Like, so, like, that being done, and people, like, have to sit back and sit still for a while and coming up with ideas to, make money, or how to survive, or who to hang out with, who to not hang out with. That stuff is real beforehand. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's better to get that stuff going on early when you're somebody that has, a career in those fields. Yeah,
and it gives you time, to get inside your head. I know, COVID for us, it affected our industry a little bit, but to me, it really gave everybody time to take a step back and just do a, full analysis. Like, I know I stepped back and said, hey, where can I improve in life? Where can I improve in my family? Did it give you any time to be like a little introspective on your career, or I know you didn't take too much time off with COVID, but did that affect you at all, your mindset? Going through that?
No, not at all, because that's kind of how I already live. And, and just like, also like, just the knowing that the right investments that I made early and now still going is all the right ones. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like, when we talk about, like, so recently somebody just got signed, right? From PC or somebody, I don't know. Somebody got signed, and it was like
basketball?
Basketball. Somebody got signed recently from Providence. I don't know, young kid, I'm not too sure where, but some of his mentors came up to me and said, hey, you got any information to give him?
Advice, information.
Information to give him, whatever. He's like, you signed for $1 million. I was like, tell him $1 million ain't shit.
$1
million is a house and one car. A house and one car. That's all $1 million is. It's a house and one car. So don't get fixed on thinking you made it out, or you're like whatever, because that's not what it is. When I give that information, it's for them to take back to really understand. Like,
and are they taking back a little bit?
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I can't watch everybody, but this is like, I'm just trying to like steer people down the right path. Like, don't worry about the bling. Don't worry about the fancy. Worry about, like I said, the house and one car, and then after you get that, bro, it's not you. You still gotta go get that. You still gotta like really grow. Not, I got it. I'm good for life. I made $1 million. Like, bro, no.
And listen, I think you having that mentality keeps you focused to realize you're 30 I'm sure you made a lot of money in your career, but you got a lot of fights left in you. And when it comes to boxing, not that one loss cripples you, but it's a sport that you don't want a lot of losses on your record.
I mean, look, with the whole Floyd Mayweather era and him doing and being out here being like he is, and like just exposing that a little more for the black fighters, because that's what it boils down to. Like, you losing is more for black fighters. It's not for a Mexican fighter. It's not for Chinese fighters. Not for not to be here and be racial or nothing like that. But they have a country behind them. So when Canelo loses to Floyd Mayweather, he still got 80,000 people in the stands. It doesn't matter, because he has a country behind. Manny Pacquiao, 10 losses.
Philippines.
You know what I'm saying? He has a country behind him. But with the Americans, even the white Americans, black Americans, whatever the situation is, you have to do a lot more. And they're so biased at one point, and the next they're like, it's a funny situation when it comes to that American. fan base.
Yeah.
So you have to do a lot more to get them to be behind you.
And let's talk about fan base. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that boxing in America is just kind of like, the casual fans only pay attention to your, first it was De La Hoya, it was Tyson, then Holyfield, De La Hoya, Mayweather, now Canelo. The casual fan is picking up on Canelo because he's everywhere and he's on pay-per-views. One of the things that I wanted to talk about with you, and it's a good time to bring it up, is, not just the casual boxing fan, but the local boxing fans. Because, for me, I know that right now in your career, you're the most talented and decorated fighter to ever come out of Rhode Island, right? Is there any... you might not want to come out and say that, but, when people talk about boxing, they still remember, the past boxers in Rhode Island, which is great, and I'm not taking anything away from them, but you're here, you're born in Providence, right?
Yeah, born in Providence.
You're born in Providence, you're 30-0, you're on every major card, you're going to be 31-0 in a little while.
Oh, yeah.
Do you ever feel like people have let you down a little bit as far as their support locally? And I think a lot of that has to do with Rhode Island's not there's a little bit of a boxing, there's a good boxing fan base, obviously, with, CES and the Birchfields. And nationally, boxing is just not one of those sports that's celebrated like football is, baseball, basketball. Do you ever feel like a little let down by that? And do you think you deserve more credit?
No, listen, I think, like I was saying, I think it has to do with, your nationality. Because if you're with Jimmy Birchfield and you're Italian, all the Italian people in the whole Rhode Island is like, oh, Jimmy Birchfield, Billy Paz, wow! And it's like, listen, no disrespect to none of them. Vinny Paz is a 5-time world champion, but Vinny Paz has not made or done anything that I have done.
Yeah.
Ever. So, yeah, he did his thing, but, that's like, but that's just walking into the gym for me.
Yeah.
You know how they say sometimes you can't carry my gym bag, like that's that type of situation.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like,
do you think you need a crazy knockout, huge win or something?
I did all that. I did all that.
No, I know you did.
I'm saying, like, I had those situations, and then, it just comes down to, like, me personally, it's just like, do I want to, famous, be rich, be famous. I know fame brings a little more riches, but sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. But at the end of the day, like, I'm making mine. Yeah. If you don't know, you don't know. Yeah.
But that's also probably why you're so focused. And
of course,
fighting is the focus, right?
No, of course. And at the end of the day, this world is really big. I know they say it's a small world, but this world is really big. There's a lot going on for everybody to try to follow somebody or know who somebody is. And at the end of the day, my obstacles that I went through kept me from being like, have the eyes on me, because it just took a longer time because of, situations that, I really can't speak about too much. You know what I'm saying? So, but now that with Matchroom, with the Zone, we have like, a real machine behind me.
Oh, yeah.
We got real money.
And they're promoting you and pushing you hard.
They're doing the best they can to, get the motor road as far as like the people, like, hey, I know there's these people, but this is the person who's been like going through a lot of, a great deal of short end of the stick to overcome and stew, and now here, and no matter where you go, his name is always mentioned with the greatest or the people that's out there.
But they don't want to fight you.
At the end of the day, because the boxing fans, the hardcore, or like the boxing world knows Demetrius Andrade is bad, motherfucker. Yeah. He's bad.
Yeah.
Like,
and
stay away from him.
Right?
Stay away from him. And the excuse is, we can use him. High risk, low reward. High risk, low reward. Who you fight? You want to pay that.
I don't see how anybody would think it's a low reward. If somebody does beat you, how is that a low reward?
I'm saying
that's a huge reward,
right? These are excuses that's out there that the casual fans will like hear from their hero.
So maybe a casual fan thinks that you don't want big fights, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the truth.
No,
obviously.
yeah, but they will hear it from these other,
Other
elite
media
fighters.
outlets.
Yeah, no, really the elite fighters, not the media outlet knows I can fight. They're not going to sit there and say, they're not going to say I can't fight. They know I can fight. They've been to my shows.
Yeah.
But when like you said, like the casual fans that watch Floyd or casual fans that just watch Canelo because like the name Anthony Joshua and all this other stuff, and they say when I went to the press conference to go confront Canelo, and he goes and say, "Oh, you paid it. I don't fight nobody. And now the casual fans are saying the same thing.
Yeah,
it's like
because they're listening to him. Right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like and so they try to like downplay the situation because that's what he wants. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's trying to do. But it's like, yo, bro, everybody you just last fought is nothing compared to my resume as far as like my executive. And my talent and my skills in the boxing world knows.
Well, I think, for me personally, and I've obviously watched your career, you're not, I wouldn't say you're quiet, but you're not one of these loud fighters trying to get in the news, trying to make headlines, and a lot of fighters kind of make their career about that. You're not one of those guys. You let your fists talk for you, right? You let your performance.
I'm not trying to be out here like showing like, oh, like this is another thing, like I'm not trying to show like black people are just ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not trying to be out here trying to make a scene just for what? You know what I'm saying? For the money. I mean I make good money. I know how to make money. I know how to put money in the right places to, get the capital gains. I understand. You know what I'm saying? I know how to do it, but I'm not about to be out here just be like, like an Adrian Broner, Floyd. Floyd did it for a little bit, and then Adrian Broner tried to copy that blueprint.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
Look what happened to him. Like you get beat up, and now you get people like, oh, this bum.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
and
not to call him a bum, but
he's a world class fighter.
Yeah,
he just, he lost focus, right?
Because of the
because of the
that
machine.
blueprint that he was trying to follow.
Yeah, and the point I'm trying to make in that is, it's almost like the gift and the curse because you're not getting involved with that, right? You're more focused on your career, winning, getting in shape, fighting, and you're not concerned with the other side of it, which is not that you're not concerned with promotion, but you want to train, you want to stay on that path.
Yeah,
So
you're not going to have me out here like, is this enough? You need me to dance some more?
Oh yeah,
you need me to dance some more?
Yeah,
nah,
yeah, you want to fight?
I bet I'm not that.
I think people listen. I know for me, I'm more than a casual boxing fan, but I will say this: you've been doing this for a while. Nobody has beaten you. I don't think anybody has come close to beat you. You filled up the Dunkin' Donuts Center, a year and a half? I was at that fight. I bought tickets, just so you know. That was about a year and a half ago. But, even casual fans, if they're not looking at you, especially if you're local, I'm talking to everybody in the Northeast, I mean, what more do you want for a local fighter? You got, and I'm not trying to butter you up, but you got a father, right? Father, husband, right? Son, somebody that works hard, somebody that's committed, somebody that's making good decisions day in and day out, undefeated, 3-time world champion. You're not in the news for anything bad, right? You're focused, you're committed. I think you're a great representation of boxing and just in sport, and if people don't see it now, they should, man. And that's just me speaking from the heart. Like, you're a good guy and you're committed.
Nah, for sure. I appreciate that, and at the end of the day, sometimes it's just, it takes a little longer for people to realize, and also, me getting that opportunity, that shot to showcase, like, this is why, and once they do a little more digging, they be like, oh wow, we really was underestimating, or we really was like lost in like the source, because that was like phony over there. Like, this is real here. This is a real life situation. Not, like, listen, no disrespect to like, anybody out there like Canelo, you know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather, like, they were with the right people that moved them the right way and did the picking and choosing, and they had the power. And that's the incredible part about this whole, like, boxing world. Is like, it's really sometimes not the talent, it's the promoter. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
Connections, promoter.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And when you're young and you're like just focused on whatever, you don't really know the business like that. You can just
you're just like, I want to fight, I want to win, I want to get better.
not just that, but you're just like, I should be able to go with sort of anybody that got a good deal up front or whatever situation and make it happen, because I do.
And I will say this, and I think it's important. In any sport, football, even in life, business, winning, winning cures all. So you're sitting here 30-0. The more you win, the less that people can avoid you. I mean, and here's the great thing about boxing. You control your destiny. You do. I mean, there's judges, and we can get it. That's a whole other conversation. But you control your own destiny. That, to me, is what's interesting about boxing. You're writing your own story. You're creating your own story. And if you keep winning, whoever's avoiding you eventually can. Because eventually some people are going to speak up. Eventually the boxing guys are going to speak up and say, all right, why aren't you fighting this undefeated?
It's definitely happening right now.
It's happening now.
Yeah, it's all starting to align. It's just like at the end of the day, people like, you know, the casual fans or like the Chalo, the Triple G, the Canelo, their fan base is going to try to downplay me because at the end of the day, do you really want to see your guy in a tough fight he can possibly lose?
They do, but they want to see him in a tough fight that they're going to win.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
They want to see him in a...
Of course. So that's what it also boils down to. But it's just like as far as those individuals that are named, it's like in your heart and also for legacy, don't you want them legacy fights? So like make them happen because that's what warrior spirit and mentality is all about.
Oh yeah. All right, man. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
All right.
And everybody out there, be a good citizen. God bless. And you know what I'm saying? Love is the answer.
Love that. Be good to each other, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Cool.
Check out his fight soon. Thanks, guys.